Let's begin on our back. We're going to begin lying on our back in what is called a constructive rest pose. So our feet are about mat width apart, a little bit wider. And then our knees are buckled into the center, just resting gently on each other. Now you can close your eyes here if that feels safe. And your hands can be wherever feels good to you. They can be on the side or they can be resting gently on your belly. And we're going to take a moment here to simply arrive, allowing ourselves to slow down, to sink, and open ourselves to our vessel, our body. On every inhale, can you feel the belly expanding, maybe into those hands if they're placed there? And every exhale, can you feel a bit of weight dropping into your pelvis, dropping down into the mat below you? Breathing in and out through the nose. Just beginning to nourish ourselves with ease, and a sense of safety and acceptance. On our next inhale, let's interlock our fingers and reach them above our heads along the ground. And just reaching away from our feet, stretching out that torso. Exhale to just relax, keeping our arms where they are. Let's begin windshield wiping our knees back and forth. So keeping those feet wide apart, just begin to drop the knees to one side and then the other. Keeping this stretch up through the torso, moving as much or as little as you need here. And then as you exhale, keep moving over the right shoulder, resting for a moment on the right side. And then continue to push yourself up onto tabletop. So onto all fours. Let's find some cats and cows. Inhaling to drop the belly, hug the shoulders, looking up to the ceiling. Exhale to tuck that tailbone, push into the hands and look to the belly button. One more time. Inhale, looking up to the ceiling, dropping the belly. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, looking to the navel. And just now begin to find those circles with the torso. Moving out those nooks and crannies. And exhale, sinking the sit bones down towards the heels. Let's find a child's pose. Reaching our hands far out in front of us. Sinking our belly down in between those thighs. Just letting it relax onto our legs. Forehead can be resting on our mat. Can we find the breath enter the low back? As we exhale, let's draw those fingers towards the back of the mat as we come up onto our shins. Inhale, both our arms above our head. Interlock those fingers. Inhale to stretch our arms up and exhale over to the right. Side stretch. Inhale up again and over to the left for another side stretch. Inhale, exhale, release the hands. Slowly bring them behind you and interlock those fingers. Press those fists down towards the mat as we open the chest and slightly look up to the sky or the ceiling. Exhale, let that go. We're going to cross the right arm over the left. Bending at the elbows to bring the fingertips towards the ceiling. Either stay here or you can continue the cross into eagle arms if you're familiar with eagle arms. Reach those fingers up towards the sky, broadening the chest. And then as we exhale, draw our elbows into our belly button to round the shoulders. Let's do that again. Inhale, lifts everything up. Exhale, elbows into our bellies. Inhale, let that go. Coming back behind us, just another quick back bend to reach the fist down to the mat. And then we'll switch sides. So left arm is crossing above right, fingers towards the ceiling. You can crisscross a little further if you'd like. Inhale, reach those fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, elbows towards belly. Again, inhale. And exhale, everything rounds. Let's inhale into our tabletop. Right hand is going to peel away from the mat, reaching up as we twist the torso. And as we exhale, we're going to thread that right hand in between our knees and our left hand and place it down on the mat. I'm just going to turn so you can see me. So our right arm is placed down on the mat, stretching out the shoulder. We can either stay here. You can reach the left hand out in front of you. You can sink back down into those heels if that feels better, or stay upright. Trying to keep those hips square. And as we inhale, pressing into the left hand and releasing that right. And we'll go to the other side, peeling the left hand up away, looking up as we twist the torso. And exhale to thread that left hand in between the hand and the knee and placing the left hand over down onto the ground. Looking towards that left hand. Trying to square those hips. Maybe we sink back. And on your next exhale, release that hand. Come back into your tabletop. We're going to inhale the right foot in between our hands. Hands on our hips, we're going to come into our low lunge. Using our hands to square out our hips here. Find a bit of a tuck in our pelvis. So our tailbone is pointing down towards our bottom knee. Let's inhale both our arms above our head. Interlock those fingers, bringing them down into heart center and then pushing them out in front of us as we round our upper spine. We should feel some pretty interesting stuff in that left hip. And then inhale everything up. Let's interlock the thumbs. We're in this little puppet position. As we inhale, just stretching from those fingertips up, 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 pulling against each thumb to energize our torso. Big inhale. And exhale, let's bring those hands outside the front foot and we'll sink back towards our back heel. Right heel digs into the mat as the right toes point up towards the ceiling. Finding a flat back here. That right leg can be slightly bent. And let's begin to wave our right foot back and forth as if it's waving to someone in front of us. So twisting that leg side to side. And bending back into that front leg. Let's bring the right knee to meet the left. Come back into child's pose. And then draw ourselves onto our fingers, back onto our shins, stretching out the wrists. All of us spending so much time on our computers. Let's bring our right hand in front of us with fingers down, gently pulling those fingers down to the ground with our other hand. Feeling that stretch in the forearm and the wrist. And turning that up now, the palm faces our face as we pull our fingers towards our nose. And let's switch sides. So pulling the left fingers now with the right hand down towards our knees. And now bringing the fingers up and over, palm and fingers facing towards our face. Exhale, let that go. Interlock the fingers and just make some nice big circles. Exhale, let that go. We'll come into our tabletop and we'll find the low lunge on the other side. So left foot between the hands. Hands come onto the hips as we inhale our spine up. Trying to find square hips, tucking that tailbone slightly so the tailbone is going down towards the back knee. Inhale, both arms above. Interlock those hands as we bring them forward and then out as we round through the upper spine. Really finding those inhales and smooth exhales. Inhale to bring the arms above us again. Interlock our thumbs if you can remember the other way. And as we pull against our thumbs, inhale, everything stretching up, stretching out. Everything expands. And exhale, bringing those hands outside the left foot. Sink back towards the back heel, left toes towards the ceiling. Coming up onto the fingers if you need to find that flat back. Nice big stretch as we inhale through the nose and release through the nose. And begin to find that wave with that front foot, waving the toes to the outside and then inside, just waking up that hip. And let's bend into that left knee, coming into tabletop, and this time shifting our weight over our wrists and lowering ourselves entirely down to the ground. We're going to find our forearms on our mat. As we pull our elbows towards our belly, let's open our chest to find our sphinx. Nice, feel good back bend here as we open the chest, broaden the shoulders. And exhale to lower the belly to the floor. Hands now to the side of the chest. Shrug those shoulders up and back, and now pull the hands to the back of the mat as we find our low cobra back bend. And exhale down. Pushing up onto our tabletop, let's tuck those toes and slowly lift the knees and then lift the hips up to the ceiling. Find a downward facing dog. Stretch out those calves here. So let's bend one knee and then the other. Side to side into the hips as much as you need. And then let's begin to find little steps towards the front of our mat. And we'll come into a forward fold, bending those knees as much as we need to let our spine and our head drip off our back body. And tucking the tailbone, bending the knees, let's slowly begin to roll up, back to standing, one vertebrae at a time. Head heavy, shoulders, and then head is last. Inhale both our arms above our head. Let's clasp those fingers. Maybe we point our index fingers up to the ceiling. Inhale up, out and away from our torso, and bend over to the right, heavying the left foot. Inhale back to center, and exhale over to the left, heavying the right foot. Center, and then we're going to just begin to make some torso circles. So just moving in a circular motion with the upper end of your torso, tightening the glutes as you move to the back to protect the low spine, moving in both directions. And then coming to center, inhaling up, and exhale to release the hands, and we'll simply roll ourselves back down, starting with our head, rolling back down the spine. Inhale, press your hands into your shins as you shoot into a flat back. Exhale to come back to our forward fold. Step one foot back and then the other, and simply move the hips up and back into a downward facing dog. Take a moment here to get reacquainted with your breath. Did it go away? And you can bring it back anytime you want. And let's inhale our right foot in between the hands. We're going to stay here in our low lunge, working to square those hips. If you want to bring your right hand into the right hip crease and gently just pull it back in space. See what that feels like. And then coming back into that lunge. Both hands coming onto your thigh this time. As you find balance, both hands on the thigh. Either stay here or bring both arms above, stretching up. Exhale, bringing the torso forward, finding the mat with both hands. The left hand is going to stay on the mat as the right arm peels up into our twist. You can always lower that back knee. Exhale that right hand to the inside of the right foot. As the right elbow presses into the right knee, release the left hand as we come down onto the heel of the back left foot. Coming into our side angle pose. Exhale that left hand back down. Both hands are on the inside of the right foot still. Let's widen that right foot to the outside of our mat and find our lizard lunge. Opening the chest. Stretching into that right hip. As we inhale, let's reach up and back with our right hand. Bend that left leg and maybe stay here, or maybe you can grab that foot to find our quad stretch. Pelvis is lifting up away from the mat. Deep inhales and exhales. And the next exhale, gently let that back foot go, reaching back up and over. Right knee meets the left. Let's shift over those wrists, lower to the floor. Shrug those shoulders up and back to find our low cobra back bend. Exhale down to the mat. Lift up at the tabletop. Tuck the toes and find that downward dog. Coming to the other side, the left foot comes in between the hands, finding our low lunge here. Maybe the left hand comes to the left hip socket to square out the hips. And then placing the hand back down. Once you feel you have your balance, both hands come onto the thigh. Finding steadiness here in your low lunge. Hands can stay on the thigh or reach up above you. Exhale, both hands come to the mat. Right hand comes flat to the floor as the left hand peels up and away, finding our twist. Again, knee can always be down. Looking up to those left fingertips. Exhale, the left hand comes to the inside of the left foot this time, and switching hands. We lower the back left heel as we peel that right hand up and away. The left elbow is pressing into the right knee. There's a resistance there. Maybe looking up to those right fingertips. And exhale the right hand down. Back knee can lower as we widen our left foot, coming into our lizard lunge. Inhale to broaden those shoulders. On our next inhale, left arm comes up and back, and maybe we reach and grab that back right foot, stretching out that quad. If this is as far as we are, that's awesome. Just remembering to breathe. And gently let that back foot go. Reach up and back over. Left knee meets the right. This time we're going to ripple our torso down to the floor. So hips come to meet the floor as we press into the hands, broaden the shoulders, and find our upward facing dog. We don't want to be just sinking in our shoulders here. We want to be pressing up and away in a slight engagement of our glutes to protect that low back. Focusing on the broadening of our shoulders. And we can just begin to twist here. So just kind of moving side to side as much or as little as feels good. Twisting the torso maybe as much as you need. Finding center again. Let's press back into a child's pose. Inhale to tabletop, tuck those toes. Quick downward facing dog. Let's walk to the front of the mat. This time, let's interlock our fingers behind our low back. Press the fists up to the sky as we come into another forward fold. Bent knees, torso lying on the thighs. Exhale, release those arms as we slowly roll up. Ragdoll all the way up to standing. Hands on our hips. Let's take a big step back with the right foot. Pivoting both our toes to face the front of our mat. Inhale, both arms out to the side as we begin to hinge at our hips and lower our torso. Let's just stay here halfway, looking down directly below our nose. And inhaling back up. And exhale to hinge at those hips again. Inhaling here in our flat back. And then as we exhale, continue to forward fold. Hands comes towards the mat. Stretching out the hamstrings. Slight bend in the knees. As we exhale, let's begin to bend into our right knee. Inhale back to center. And as we exhale, bend into that left knee. Side to side motion here. Inhale to center. And this next time, as we exhale to the right, we're going to continue that movement and sit down on our bum. We're going to collapse the right knee down towards the mat. Left hand comes behind our left glute as we reach back towards that left hand, twisting our torso. Inhale back to center. Right knee comes back up. You can either use your hands, you can challenge yourself to push yourself back into that side lunge and then come to the other side. And slowly lowering that left or both sit bones down to the mat. Collapse the left knee down into the mat. Right hand comes behind the glutes and just stretching back and over towards that right hand. Inhaling up, left knee rises. Push back into that side lunge. Let's do that one more time. Exhaling down to the right, lowering both sit bones, collapsing the right knee in. Left hand comes to the back. Find a nice juicy back bend or side bend here that works. Center, right knee lifts, coming up into the side and over to the left. Exhaling to lower the bum down. Left knee melts in, right hand back. Find that back bend. Exhale, left knee up, pushing up to the side. Exhale down, sitting all the way down, collapsing the right knee. This time, the right knee is facing out at a perpendicular angle to the left. Inhaling both arms up. Exhale, we're going to fold over that left leg, reaching as far as we can. And then exhale is what lets the arms release. Gaze is down to that left knee. Nice big inhales and exhales. The exhales are what tells our body it's okay to release. Let's inhale, let's ripple our spine back upright. Bring that right knee up. Once again, pushing up, at least all the way down. Left knee this time collapses in, finds that perpendicular angle. squaring our hips over our right leg extended in front of us. Inhaling, both arms up. Exhaling to reach past those right fingertips. And then exhale to release the arms down anywhere they land. They can be here. Inhale to ripple our spine up. Left knee comes up. This time coming back into our low lunge at the front of our mat. Hands outside the left foot. Let's come back into a plank and push ourselves into a downward facing dog. Let's walk our feet to our hands again. And tucking the pelvis as we roll up. We're going to take a big step back with our other foot, our left foot this time. I'm simply going to face you. Arms reach out to the side. We're going to bend deep into those knees into our goddess squat. Finding length between the shoulders. Tailbone is slightly tucked. And let's bring both our hands to our thighs. Inhale, lift up. As we exhale, let's bring the right shoulder into center as we look towards the left. Stretching out that low back, the hips. Inhale everything to center. And this time releasing the left shoulder into the center, looking towards the right. Let's do that again. Releasing the right shoulder to the center, looking up to the left. And exhaling to the right. And let's come back into our goddess squat, arms released to the side. Nice full inhale. Exhale to straighten the legs. Pivot both feet to the front of the mat. Inhale up and exhale, hands down into that low lunge. Step back into plank and lift into downward facing dog. We're going to inhale the right shin down to the front of the mat and find a 90-90 position. I'm going to turn to face you. So back knee is bent, front knee is bent. We're going to stretch in 3 angles. So first we're going to come to the outside of our right knee, stretching our fingers out in front of us, bowing our shoulders down. Inhaling everything to center. This time we're going to bow to the front with either one hand or both over that right shin. Inhale, come back to center. This time grab the sole of the foot with our left hand. Press down into the right knee as we bend over towards that right foot. Inhale, let's do that one more time. Reaching to the outside of the right thigh. Up. Exhale down to center. And up. And grabbing the right foot with the left hand. Reaching over. Stretching at that right side body. Let's come up at the center. And here we'll begin to just windshield wiper those knees side to side. So if I was doing it the same way as you, I'd be facing the back of the mat. And then we'll simply let our left leg fall to the back of our mat to find the other side, finding a 90-90 bend with both legs. And then we'll exhale to reach both those hands to the outside of our left, bowing down. Inhaling to center. And then reaching one or both arms in front. Inhale up. And finding the sole of the left foot with our right hand. Press over to the right. And to center. One more time. Exhaling to reach outside the left thigh. Inhale up. Exhale to bend over, center. Inhale up. And over to the right, pressing into the right foot, pressing into the left knee, maybe looking up. And exhale to let that go. And again, just finding windshield wipers to neutralize the hips. Let's bring our feet to the front of our mat, soles on the ground. Reaching our fingertips out in front of us, let's tuck that tailbone and slowly begin to roll down to the mat. Belly sinking in towards the back, rolling slowly. And arrive. Let's extend both the legs for just a moment. Let's take an inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Begin to feel the heaviness of your body sink into the mat below you again. And then let's bring both soles of feet back onto the mat. Let's take our right foot, bend the right leg so the right ankle is on the left thigh. Either stay here in a figure four, or you can reach to behind the left thigh or on top of the shin, and gently on an exhale, pull both legs in towards the torso. Exhaling to release a little bit further as we feel the stretch in our right glute and hip. Inhale, soften the eyebrows. Exhale, release that left foot down to the mat. Extend both arms out to the side. And we're going to let both legs fall over to the left. So the right foot will find the floor. And then bring both legs back to center. And then let both legs fall over to the right. And let's just move side to side one more time. So center and then falling to the left. Center on an inhale. Fall to the right. And this time, let's hang here. So let's use the weight of the right foot on our left thigh to gently increase our twist, gently pull the leg down to the floor a little bit more. And really begin to communicate with your body through your breath that it can let go. Letting go of any holding. Let's inhale both legs up to center, and then exhale, let them drop over to the left. So the right foot will come to the floor. Maybe you can grab that right foot with your left hand if you want. A little extra stability. Let's inhale both legs back to center. Just for a moment, let's lift both legs, soles to the ceiling, and just give them a nice, easy little shake, a little flop. Shake it out. And then release both feet to the mat. The left ankle will come onto the right thigh this time, figure four. Either staying here or reaching to grab the thigh or the shin. And on an exhale, slowly pull both legs in towards the chest. Inhale through the nose. And exhale to release the right foot back down to the mat. Extend those arms again. And we'll let both legs drop over to the right. Inhale to center. Let both legs drop over to the left. Center, just finding gentle movements here over to the right. Back up. Let both legs drop to the left and we'll hang out here, letting the weight of our left foot heavy, our right leg down towards the ground. Using the exhale to release that right hip. Inhale to center, and then we'll drop both legs over to the right. Left sole of foot is on the floor. You can always grab that left ankle. Inhale through the nose. And let's exhale everything back to center. Release those legs one more time up to the ceiling or the sky and give them a nice little shake. Shake out the legs. And then bring them back down to the mat. We're going to come up first onto our forearms and then up onto our hands. Our fingers are pointing towards the front of the mat. We're going to press into our feet to lift our bums away from the mat, lift our hips. Knees are going to point forward. We may need to adjust our feet a little bit. And then we're coming into this reverse tabletop. Opening up through the shoulders. Gaze is looking straight above us. Finding some engagements in our glutes and our hamstrings. Opening through the shoulders. One more inhale. And let's exhale to slowly bend the elbows, bring the bum back down to the mat. And we'll just drape our torso over our knees here. So giving ourselves a little bit of a hug. The head can drop and look towards the belly button. Just let your low spine round itself over your legs. Inhale back up. We'll do that reverse tabletop one more time. So planting the hands, planting the feet, pressing down into all fours as you lift from the hips, finding this reverse table position, opening shoulders, looking up. Inhale to expand and open everything. And then exhale, bend the elbows, bring the bum back down to the mat. And one more time, just drape yourself over the legs, hands to the mat, looking to the belly button. Just release that low spine. And let's roll ourselves to center. We're going to come into a butterfly position. So making a diamond shape with our legs. Soles of feet are together. Shuffle your sit bones back slightly, hands on either side of your hips. Pressing the torso up away from the pelvis. And then as you exhale, begin to bring your fingers out in front of you, any amount. Maybe we just stay here, lengthening through the torso. Maybe you begin to reach little bits at a time in front of you, stretching into that groin. If you have books or blocks, you can always place them under your thighs or knees in this position. A little bit more of a passive restorative stretch. So wherever you are, lengthening through the torso on the inhale and just letting your hips release on the exhale. One more inhale. Let's exhale, tuck the torso, roll up the spine. We're simply going to come into a seated position of choice. So you could stay here, you could cross the legs, or you can come onto your shins. Just find some place where you can settle and feel comfortable. Find a slight tuck of the chin, slight lift of the upper crown. Let's exhale our left hand to the mat. Inhale the right arm up and over and find the left ear with the right hand. We're gently going to pull the right ear towards the right shoulder. Maybe you want to lift the left arm away from the mat, stretching out to the side for a little extra stretch. Remembering to breathe. And exhale, release the left arm if it was raised. And inhale the head slowly back to center. Release the right hand and we'll switch sides. Left arm will inhale up and over. Find the right ear. Gently pull the left ear towards the left shoulder. Maybe you're lifting the right arm up and away, stretching through the fingertips. And exhale that right arm back down to the mat. Inhale the head slowly back to center, releasing the left arm. Taking a nice big inhale. And exhale to soften. Now you can choose to stay in a seated position, or you can come back down to your back. So shifting over to your sit bones, rolling slowly back down to the mat. And we're simply going to extend one leg and then the other. Let both arms release out to the side, palms facing up. And on every exhale, find a heaviness in your body. Taking this time, whether you're seated or lying down in Shavasana, to center and let go of all the work we just did. I really encourage you to take this time to take some deep breaths, communicate with your body. Take as long as you need here. Thank you.